music videos. If you do, you're going to love tonight's guest. Kaley Emerson is here with us tonight, and you get to know him. You get to know his story right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you guys for checking out the show. Kaley, my man.
Good to see you.
It's nice to see you, man. It's been a little bit,
yeah, it's been a couple months.
Yeah, time flies. It doesn't. It feels like 2 weeks. You know, how about you? I mean, time flying or what?
Yeah, time's flying. But that music video that we shot together,
it
felt
was
like
beauty. Yeah,
it feels like ages ago because I've been wanting it to go up.
Okay,
I'm sure you have too.
So have I, man. Yeah, because I mean, you know, I saw a couple clips or whatever, and it was
Yeah.
just like, oh god, this is so cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you can't really do anything about it, right?
Just gotta wait till the company's like, oh, the time's right, because
that
they have their planning.
Is that kind of like a normal thing? They stack up videos like that?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, everything's kind of strategies are always changing with different companies and stuff like that.
Okay. Beautiful, man. Do you like spicy food usually?
I do like spicy food. I'm a little concerned though.
Okay. You know what? Round one is chill. Round one is very, very mellow. So it's going to be good. The first one, I mean, is a buffalo wing. So that's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Let's get the buffalo wing and then we'll get started, yeah? So we start from this way to that way. You go wing or leg, whatever you want.
I'll go with leg.
All right. Or drumstick, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
Whatever's happening
Cheers,
here.
brother.
Cheers.
There you go. All right. Good. So if you guys are watching this on Facebook, jump over to YouTube right now. You're going to get the full show right now. www.eddy.live. We'll catch you guys there. If you're on YouTube, stay on YouTube and enjoy the show. Thank you.
So for the other ones, did you do the sauces yourself or?
We do the sauces for all of them. For most of them, yeah. The first one is the basic buffalo, right?
Yeah. So
that's basically Frank's and butter.
Yeah,
right.
I'm assuming, yeah.
So that's pretty basic. But yeah, I mean, we'll go through all of them. The last couple are pretty rough.
Yeah.
But it's just for fun. It is what it is.
See what's happening.
Just for fun, see how it goes, yeah?
Yeah.
So what brought you here originally, man, to Taiwan? You've been here for a while, obviously, right?
Yeah, I'm coming on 9 years, which is quite a while. You're a bit longer than me, right?
Yeah. Well, about 18, like double.
Yeah.
But I mean,
doubled me.
But your Chinese is great. I mean, mine is okay, but yours is like, whoa.
It's serviceable. I can work.
But where did that come from? Did you go to school for that, or?
I did about a year and a half or so.
One of those intense things.
Yeah.
Oh, in the States.
No, in the States. So I didn't study when I came out here.
Okay.
But I was very intentional in trying to force myself to use Chinese. Like I turned my computer and my phone and everything into Chinese. So it's like
really, oh my gosh.
Like I had to learn how to read. At least my writing's gotten horrible since I moved here. But,
Did you teach yourself the writing and stuff? Or?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, I got the basics when I did a little bit in school.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I definitely had to build on top of that. But I mean, it gave me a good foundation.
It helps then, yeah? You did that, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you never did any kind of schooling here?
No,
okay,
none.
Wow, okay. Very cool.
So the story how I ended up here is kind of... my dad got sick and everything, and I was just trying to find ways to fill my time up.
Okay.
And so like I decided to take a Chinese class because I was like, this is what...
Okay.
Get me preoccupied with some other stuff.
Sure, okay.
And then eventually, like, 2007 rolled around. I was like, maybe I should just go overseas and study for a little bit. And I was planning on going to Beijing Language and Culture University for a year.
Okay, sure.
I applied there, got accepted.
Okay.
And I wanted to stay there through the Olympics the summer of 2008.
Yeah, of course, if you're there, yeah.
And I applied to have the visa go through that, the Olympics, and they just turned me down.
Oh, really?
For the extended visa. And I just was like, well,
I guess this is no rhyme or reason,
yeah,
right?
So basically I was just like, well, screw this. I'll figure something else out. I had a really good friend that we grew up together. After high school, he moved to Taiwan.
Okay.
And went to Taida.
Oh, cool.
And
okay.
Yeah, so then at that time I was like, well, maybe I'll just go visit my friend, see what Taiwan's like, what it's about. And
how does it differ from Beijing? I mean, I've never been.
Well, I didn't go.
Okay, you never went at all.
Like when they did that to me, I was just like, man, if it's
I thought you were there and they rejected the extension.
Whatever step of the way is going to be like that, I was just like, forget it for now. You know, like.
Have you been though? Since?
I haven't.
You haven't? Yeah.
No.
You know, I mean, I work a lot, right, and I don't get to travel that much. So when I travel, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna go to like Thailand or Japan. I make sure, nothing against China, but I've never had a chance to go, and I always hear mixed things, and I'm like, I don't want to bring my wife's Taiwanese, and my daughter is obviously Taiwanese as well, mixed Taiwanese, and it's like they got to get that special type out thing, and it's like we actually flew through Beijing on the way back from Canada once, and just through the airport was it was a hell. It was so bad.
I've flown through before too.
Yeah, so just through that was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I would like to check it out someday, but. Yeah, I
would like to do a nice China trip at some point.
Yeah, for sure. The Great Wall, we all want to see it, right? Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, so I ended up coming to visit my friend, and we toured the island, Ichi Huandao. We took a motorcycle around the island. And
beautiful.
It just was, I fell in love with the East Coast.
Okay.
East Coast was
that's beautiful, yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Really, can we get 2 Cokes? They forgot to bring the Cokes. Thanks.
Yeah, so I just absolutely fell in love with that, and I decided, we'll see what happens.
Cool. Yeah, I told them, but it didn't come out. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, mug's fine.
We'll see what happens after I finish school, what I want to do, and I ended up just deciding I can come out here.
Okay, perfect.
And see what's happening.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up out here.
Okay, and 9 years ago.
Yeah.
No regrets.
For the most part, no. Like I would say, like my biggest regret now is that like moving back to the United States, and I feel like this is such a strange idea to me, but like moving back to the United States, I'm from Seattle.
Okay.
It would almost feel like moving to a foreign country again, like starting over again.
Have you been back to visit since?
Oh yeah, I go back to visit quite a bit.
And that's when you feel it, right?
Yeah, but the reality is like, I've started a business here.
Beautiful, I love it.
I have really nice client roster now that's growing.
Sure.
And I have to start from scratch.
Yeah, that's exactly, man. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
People are like, why don't you come by and set up a restaurant in Vancouver? I'm like, man, it took me like 15 years to make money on this one. Now I'm like, this is great. I mean, now I'm like 42. I started when I was 28. I was like, no problem. But if I go there and it's tough. I don't think it'll take as long, but this time was a rough ride, man. Rough ride, dude. Maybe 10 years to make any money. It's like, oh my gosh, that's always a secret. People are like, what's the secret? Restaurant's doing great and blah blah blah. Like, well, you got to work for free for a while, you know. And they're like, oh, I can hustle. How long? Like, I don't know, 10 years maybe.
A decade? It's like
decade, yeah, decade, and then 50-50. We'll see how it goes, They're just like, oh, yeah, basically. Sweet, dude. How was the wing though? All good?
Great. Didn't hit me yet.
Didn't hit you. It's just a buffalo, right? Just simple, right? So the next one's Chipotle, right?
Okay.
So Chipotle, I mean, this first round is pretty chill. So
the first 2 are pretty easy, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, the first. I think all 4 of these are pretty chill. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, second round it gets a little nutty, but.
Oh, so there's another round after this.
Yeah, there's another round after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I got to start bracing myself. Not yet.
It's all good. Yeah, no, we're still good. We're still good. I'll let you know when it's going to get a little nutty. So. Okay. So do you want to do the drum or the wing?
Either one.
I'll take the top this time. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, a little Chipotle in there, brother. Cheers.
There you go.
Thanks for coming to do it, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah. So we're just chatting about Stuart, right?
Yeah.
How we met. How did you meet Stuart, man? I mean, Stuart is a funny guy. I've known him since I started the restaurant like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And he messaged me. He's like, you gotta come. Like, what's going on? He's like, this like music producer. And he's like, you gotta come. I'm like, you should have told me before, dude. I'm like, oh. He's like,
we're probably very lean.
Drop everything.
Like last minute.
Yeah, drop everything. I'm like, oh, shoot. And then I missed it. And I was like, oh, shit. But, it's finally nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
At the show, I mean.
Yeah. So I met him through one of my buddies named Luke. He's a Canadian guy that's also been out here for a long time. He's a scuba instructor.
Okay.
Formosa Dive Academy.
Okay, shout out to Formosa Dive Academy. Okay.
He's helped me a lot, too, throughout
Canadian
all the
guy,
years.
yeah?
Canadian guy.
Oh, I must be a good guy then.
Yeah. Gotta be. Those
Gotta
Canadians,
be.
Yeah.
They don't give you a passport if you're not a nice guy in Canada, man.
Yeah. They'll kick babies out that have an attitude.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I'm scared to go back now, man. Shoot.
Yeah, so that's how I met Stuart. But I'm glad he introduced me to here, because that's the only reason why I ended up ever linking up with you, too.
It's true, so, yeah. So for those of you that don't know, not recently, I guess. It's been a little while, but we did a music video. So Kaley is obviously a music So before I go into that, director and producer, I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah.
Like, so I could guess, but maybe you could clarify
try
that.
And guess?
Oh my gosh, not really, man. I look like a fool, but I don't even know the difference between someone who's kind of like telling you people what to do. That's the director, or kind of like guiding people. That's the director, or yes.
So
I don't know.
There's
man.
different kinds of producers when it comes to video.
Okay.
But I would say in general, the producer is the one that does all the organization and planning and execution for like how everything happens.
Okay, now, it's like the planning side.
Yeah, so the director and the producer work very close hand in hand.
Okay. Is it possible to be both, the director and the producer?
Absolutely.
It is, right?
Especially when I started, that's like what I did.
Okay, sure. Okay.
And then the director comes up with the ideas, the concept, and then on set, they also, kind of run the show.
Okay.
But honestly, the producer is the backbone. Like, that was the biggest transition in my career, was getting a really solid producer that was, that believed in me and I believed in them. And that jump-started my career. And, I mean, this is only like a year and a half ago I started working closely with a solid producer all the time. And I had other producer friends. Okay. But, yeah, super thankful to have somebody on my team that's super dedicated. When
you have the right people on the team, it helps so much, man. I mean, I've had some crazy experiences with the right people and crazy experience with the wrong people. And it's night and day, man, for sure.
For sure.
So we did a music. Well, you were directing, right? The music video. We did it. Can I mention it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can talk about all.
We can talk about Patrick. Yeah. So if, a guy that I knew who was growing up when he was a kid at our first restaurant. We know his family pretty good, Patrick. He's become like a superstar, right? Yeah. And we did a music video. You needed like Mexican stuff, and you came here, and we actually got some more masks out of the deal, right? If you see they're kind of back there, which was pretty cool. And that was kind of the first time I did a music video, and it was fun, man. I got to be like the coach of the guy who wins, which is good. Yeah. It was one of the coolest things that I found was you were actually. It's cool to see like a master sort of in his element, just kind of like, I got some really cool pictures, not of that day, of course, but I mean, it's really like, there's like that, like bam.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you would just grab in the camera and you're like running around the ring and you're sweating and you got the camera stuff there and you just like.
I'm really good at the sweating part too. I'm really good at that part.
You're good at the sweating part, right?
Yeah.
No, it's cool to see like, where's that picture? Yeah. To see
cool.
You kind of like, editing and like on the spot changing things up. Like our first take, you were like, hey, cheer, do this, and I'm like, okay, and then you're like, no, wait, be serious, like basically do the opposite. And I was like, okay. So it was pretty cool to see you kind of like call an audible, you know what I mean, like on the spot. It was very cool, man. It was really cool.
Speaking of that, that's a really interesting thing that I've been trying to navigate as well, because I've been kind of doing all the roles for such a long time.
Sure.
Producing, editing, directing, and all that stuff. I did that. That was my background. I did everything. So when I'm shooting, and I'm a director that still, I have a hard time setting down the camera and letting somebody else shoot.
Like the delegation side? Yeah. Okay.
Like I still like that. I feel like my strongest part is my shooting, but I like to tell stories.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, I binged your videos this week, and they were so good. I mean, I think that the production quality is incredible. Like it looks like it looks so professional.
It is.
It is, but it is. But it's just like to be like, I know this guy. He makes this video, and it's like it's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. Yeah. It's just mind blowing. So yeah.
What's funny is I didn't even start doing filmmaking before I came to Taiwan.
Oh really?
Except I dabbled in like in elementary school and high school, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Okay,
like,
sure.
Just with my friends, we'd shoot like snowboarding videos and stuff like that
with GoPros or something.
Yeah, and I would edit in a VCR.
Okay.
That you fast forward.
Sure,
and then,
of course.
Rewind and press record on one VCR.
Oh, while you play. Okay, good. I wasn't sure how old you were. Yeah, okay. The VCR days, I know.
That's how I started filmmaking. Was like.
That's so funny.
But I didn't really take it seriously until I came out here a couple years, probably about my second year here. I started doing a lot of photography, and then like by my third year, I was definitely like full time.
Okay, but I mean, like, how did you acquire these skills? Like to get from like, let's say, vlogger outside with his cell phone to where you are. It's like years of like so professional. It's crazy. But I mean, that's a skill that needs to be learned. Yeah. Right. Like, so how did you do that?
I can't exactly answer that because I don't know the best way to answer it.
Okay.
But I know
in
that
your story.
I tried so hard.
Okay.
Like like
cinematic. It looks beautiful. Yeah.
Like I'm really good at challenging myself at one thing at a time. Okay. One or two things. I can focus on one or two things in my life at a time and really focus on those.
Okay.
And one of the best things that ever happened to me was like, in Chinese, there's like a term, you guanqi, jiu male guanqi, male guanqi.
Okay. Sure.
Jiu you guanqi. And so it's like it's kind of talking about like, if you have some kind of guanqi, how do you say guanqi?
Guanqi, oh my gosh, it's like some kind of connection.
Then it's like nothing's a problem. If you don't have guanqi, then it's like everything's gonna be more difficult for you.
Yeah, for sure.
And my whole trajectory in my career has, like, I get both of those things, but I have to say, like, one of the best things that happened to me was I had a friend whose sister was a producer for documentaries. Okay. And she was working a lot with Discovery Channel and Nat Geo. Mm-hmm. And out of the grace of her heart, she started...
Check that bad boy out. Look at this. Sorry, keep going.
Actually, that was for Discovery.
That's it. Yeah,
that was for
all right. I got the right one
hilarious.
There. Yeah. Beautiful, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that. Yeah. That's in Taidong too, actually.
That's in Taidong. I don't want to stop your story. I just want to pull it up while you talk about it.
She hooked me up with some like jobs that like I clearly didn't have the experience for, but she believed in me because she saw my hustle. Okay. You know what I mean? She saw my hustle, and she first started giving me photo jobs, and then after that, she started giving me video jobs. Okay. And it absolutely jump-started my career by having somebody believing in me. Okay. And that was just from a friend's sister. Okay. And that's just the guanqi thing. Yeah. Like I had a little bit of guanqi, and that jump-started my career. That's beautiful. And everything else after that has been pretty difficult. When it comes to, because I don't have many business connections here. Okay. But it's been absolutely amazing. Okay, I love it. Journey, yeah. I
think one of the things you mentioned was hustle, right? Like, you know about that. I also know about that. How important is hustle when you want to build something? Like, in your opinion?
I think when you want to build something, and you're starting from nothing. Yes. Like we were talking about the whole guanqi thing. If you don't have guanqi, you're gonna have to hustle. Oh yeah, 100%. Sure. But if you have guanqi and you're like fu or die, like your family already has a ton of money. That's a whole different thing. Yeah. But if you're starting kind of from ground zero, like I would say 98% of it's hustle. Agreed. The other 2% is just opportunities that come up and taking advantage of those opportunities when they come. I love it. But you always have to be hustling, no matter what, because if those opportunities come up, you have to hustle with those opportunities to make sure you take advantage of them. I love it because you're hustling. You got to be kind of like in game shape, you know, and then when it comes, you jump on it, right? Yeah, I agree. I love that because it's a hard thing to teach. I mean, it's something that's kind of like you got to be in. It's something that's kind of inside, and it's like we were talking about it earlier. Like, the restaurant in the beginning, I had zero guanqi. I had zero business skill. I had zero money. I had zero everything. I just thought, let's try it out. Let's make some tacos. And we were like, it shouldn't take that long. Yeah. It took a little longer than we thought, but now it's okay. It's usually pretty good. Yeah. Well, today's a little bit of a slow day, but usually it's pretty. You know, Wednesday's usually it's a hit or miss day, but it used to be super duper slow. And then we started to do this, and we started to really pack it out on Wednesday. So it's pretty good. Yeah. Not today, but that's okay. Happens a lot, though. We'll have better audio today, so that's good. Yeah. Sometimes it gets so packed that I go back to re-listen to all the audio, and it's just like forks clanging away and stuff, and I'm like, oh shoot. But I mean, I think the live setting is cool. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not a bad setup, right, for somebody who knows nothing. For me, coming from a video background and seeing how you have this set up, it's really cool because let's say like 5-6 years ago, this whole setup would have been much more complicated. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. To see, I haven't even seen this kind of box before. Check it out. The Elgato Stream Deck, man. Yeah, this Stream Deck thing is super cool. I'm going to zoom in on you right there. Super programmable. Yeah. It's pretty awesome, right? We got that camera there. Yeah. We've got the main camera, the third camera. I left you have a whole production studio right here. That's cool. Exactly what it is. You could do like a whole news broadcast with this thing. The cool thing about it is
it's live, and we can just kind of like switch it up live, right? Like we'll put up another picture here, like a little backstage shot here.
Oh yeah.
Bam, like you can just pull stuff up. You can pull videos up live. You can do a lot of stuff. I didn't put any of the videos on because I don't know what's gonna happen with copyrights or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I didn't do that. But yeah, it's cool to have, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in. It's always nice to meet somebody who knows more about this stuff than I do. And I mean, because I'm kind of like obsessed with it.
I'm not really a streamer, but like, I get it.
Yeah, but I mean, like when I watched you do your stuff and when I watched the final product, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's super impressive, man.
Yeah.
To for that to be something you kind of you were just passionate about and picked it up.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man. I love it. So that's it. Hustle, man. I love the hustle. A little bit of guanxi helps. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And actually, to be honest, like the music video you came to and helped out with.
Yeah, I loved it. I had a great time.
That like my projects are getting bigger and bigger.
Okay. Beautiful.
And like having so many people on set, it's still a little overwhelming to me.
Okay, I can imagine. Yeah.
Because I don't know how many people we had, but
yeah.
Probably 70 people or so total on set, maybe.
Well, they set that ring up. That was, first of all, that was super cool.
Yeah.
And then you had the guys doing this. It was fun.
Oh, we can talk about kind of the concept if you want. Like
okay. Yes. I don't know what I can say. And I can't
we
say,
can talk about basically anything. I think from the video.
Okay. Cool. So we had like a wrestling ring set up, and there was a couple of like Patrick.
Yeah.
Another fighter, Elgato. I think it was Elgato.
Yeah. We call him Elgato.
Elgato. And I'm like, Elgato.
It's the easiest one.
It's the easiest one, right? So I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. Okay, so Patrick basically comes out. He meets a girl. She brings him into a fight.
Yeah.
He kind of he does pretty well, actually. He does not bad. Like he does pretty well, and then at the end he gets smashed.
Yeah,
right?
He gets kind of beat up a little bit.
He kind of gets beat up, and then the girl's just like
pushing him to keep going.
Yeah, pushes him to keep going, and it's just like. She snaps a photo of him at the end, puts it on the wall, and it's like just another victim, right?
Yeah.
And so what gave you the idea for that, man? I mean, that's first of all, lucha libre is something that nobody really knows here.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, how hard was it to get masks, right?
I ordered them from Amazon, actually.
There you go. Okay,
but it was super funny because I think they arrived the day before the shoot.
Really?
So we were super nervous.
Nervous, of course. Yeah.
Another funny thing is too, when I ordered them, I had just moved.
Okay.
So I accidentally shipped them to the wrong address.
Okay.
So I had to like call the courier and EMT or whatever it is in Taiwan have it stopped in mid shipment and sent to me.
Okay.
But
Taiwan's convenient though, like that. They're so good.
It's pretty easy.
Good. Yeah.
So the concept, So actually, before this song was finished, they'd already contacted me.
Okay.
And I just knew it was going to be about like dangerous love, Weishi and I. Okay, and I heard the song and it was kind of like a Latin beat. Like
it's a great song. It was stuck in my head for days after that.
Yeah,
because it just keeps going, right?
Yeah.
It's good.
And so I heard this Latin beat and I was like, what can I do for like dangerous love
and Latin?
A Latin beat. And I was like, well, I could do something like maybe.
Are you like a fan of lucha libre, or is that something you just had?
Okay, so
or
I grew
wrestling
up,
at least.
Yeah,
like
so
WWE?
I grew up doing collegiate wrestling.
Oh, beauty!
Like folk style wrestling.
Okay, beautiful.
So I started when I was 5.
Okay.
I did that all the way up, and I broke my back in 2004. So after that, I just stopped.
Okay, well, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but like I was a huge fan of real. Well, I
Olympic
call
style
it real.
wrestling.
Olympic style wrestling.
Sure.
Not freestyle, but folk style.
Okay.
So, but I was a really big fan of that and loved it, but. Because everybody assumed that, at least my age, that WWF, WWE was like wrestling.
Okay,
I kind of had like
it's a hard stigma,
resentment
sure.
towards it. So I never really got into it because I was kind of anti that.
Okay.
But I admire the people that do it because they're, what's that?
You missed out, dude. It was so much.
I did. Yeah.
It was so much fun when I grew up watching it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it was fun, but I wanted to like represent my sport.
Oh, I can
understand.
And
that one took a lot of that. The kind of like the limelight from my sport, and then there's no professional. Basically, you can do high school, college, and then
Olympics maybe. Yeah.
But then there's nothing after that.
There's nothing. It's coaching.
So it's basically you leave your shoes on the mat after you finish in high school or college, and that's it.
Yeah. That's a bummer, man. Yeah.
So it's just never caught on.
I think it's actually nowadays. I mean, I think there's still no professional that kind of wrestling, but. For like MMA, UFC, it's like the most important thing.
One of the,
like the fighting, the kicking, the punching, kickboxing, and that. is very important, but you get a wrestler and like a good wrestler, and it doesn't matter if he can throw a punch. Yeah. He's just gonna manhandle. Like Khabib. I don't know if you watch it.
Yeah, I used to watch quite a bit. I haven't watched a whole lot.
Khabib is a monster. Yeah.
And that's funny too, because when UFC started, it wasn't quite as, and Pride fighting, it wasn't quite as big. Grappling wasn't as big of a thing until like the Gracies came.
Yeah, the Gracies came in and cleaned house. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I would say like probably like around 2005, you started seeing more wrestlers come up in UFC as well.
Yeah. Yep.
And slowly, like we started seeing people moving away from like Muay Thai and all these, and some jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Sure. And we started seeing more and more wrestlers starting to dominate too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And absolutely, BJJ. That's like.
It's amazing. It's
amazing. It's an incredible sport.
Yeah.
And that's definitely going to help you a lot. But it's impressive to see how much wrestling is up there at the top of the UFC right now.
If you look at it, usually the top guys are amazing wrestlers, and it's always when I interview fighters, MMA fighters, 9 out of 10 of them will say wrestling. The first thing you should learn, like to be a killer at it. If you're a killer wrestler, you don't really have to throw a punch. I mean, you look at Khabib and his stand-up is pretty decent now, but it was pretty bad for so long. Yeah. But he would just grab onto somebody and it's over. Take him for a ride and just it's done. Yeah. Pretty amazing, dude. Let's grab the next one. Yeah. So next one's Cayenne. It's kind of like I was in the beginning trying to make my own version of Buffalo. But when I put it on, people liked it, but they still were like, it was different.
Different than Buffalo?
It's still different. So we have both. Yeah.
It's got the tang of Buffalo, but not as much tang, maybe. Is that what it is?
Yeah. And I kind of toned it down a little bit to make it a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you can't beat the classics, right?
Mm-hmm. It's good, though. I like it.
Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
So when did the dream of doing this directing thing, like right now you're on this huge upswing.
Yeah.
Your client base is incredible.
Yeah.
Your product is incredible. You got your own company. So when did this kind of idea to do all this start in your brain? Was there something that kicked it off that you were like, I'm going to do this? I
don't think it was ever like.
Okay.
A lot of it just came to me. You know, like I said, like that my friend's sister.
Yeah, the opportunity came.
And I took it, and then like I enjoyed this. I enjoyed doing it.
Okay.
So I kept on pushing towards it to get better at it, because I always like to be one of the better people at whatever I'm doing.
Again, for everyone who's watching, that's the hustle, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do a restaurant, do it right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna wash dishes, be the freaking best dishwasher there is. You know, if you're gonna, like, I was cutting grass at a soccer field when I was in college for like the summer holidays, and at a golf course, and everybody was always like, you finish faster, you do it better, like, what's the secret? I'm like, just don't stop till you're done. You know, it's crazy. Focus, right, man. Just focus. I love it. So I cut you off, but go ahead.
So I would say, like, I think the thing that really got me going at the start was that I really enjoyed documentary, because that's where I did start really getting more of my projects with documentary. And I just really enjoyed learning about people that are in a different world than me. You know, like their background and all their stories are different.
Sure, yeah.
I always kind of dreamt when I was younger of doing like National Geographic kind of stuff, but wildlife stuff.
But this is like, as a kid, I loved that too. Everybody, I think people like that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But I never really got projects like that, unfortunately.
Okay.
So when I tell people I used to shoot, projects in Nat Geo and stuff like that, they always assume it's animal. No.
Okay, well that's what I assume too. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I guess like my start was with the documentary stuff, and I just wanted to be good at it and prove, because there was a lot of people, like, there were directors that refused to work with me because I'm a foreigner.
Yeah, well, there's always gonna have this. And
like, I mean, I understand. Like, they don't understand. They don't understand foreigners.
Sure, that's
so
the truth,
it's like they're scared there's gonna be like communication issues, or they just like, why don't I just hire somebody Taiwanese or something like that? So I had issues. So
it's not the only country like that. I mean, there's a lot of countries like that.
Like, I understand. I 100% understand.
Sure.
So, I mean, but sometimes I was pretty bitter.
Well, of course, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've had that. I coached soccer, and yeah, I put together a great team, and there would be local coaches ripping my team off, like, and they'd be like, "Hey, come on, we're Taiwanese, ditch this guy," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah, that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I felt like I had to prove myself a lot of the time too.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah.
So I was working a lot harder that way, but I think.
But how did you get the skill though? Because it's not like you can just sit there and be like, I'm a pro at Photoshop or Adobe, Audition or whatever you're using.
I think just constantly shooting.
Okay.
Like I remember, like I know a lot of people that are into photography do this too. But when I first got my camera, like every day I was carrying my camera with me everywhere.
I like that. Okay.
And I just was trying to mimic, like, there's what is his name? Can't remember his name right now, but I had some like documentary style photographers that I really liked.
Okay.
And I just was trying to get the same kind of thing they were doing.
It's kind of trying to mimic some of the other guys, the big
some
guys.
Of the, like street photography wise and documentary photography wise.
I like that.
And, I just tried to learn from their body of work.
Okay.
And try and see how I can achieve something like that.
Beautiful.
And I think a lot of it has been that, but I didn't do any schooling or anything like that.
Okay.
So
I mean, was it YouTube videos or just trial and error?
Trial and error.
Okay.
And then just hustling, I guess. But it's just always shooting and trying to figure out how to be better.
Okay.
And
are any people like maybe on YouTube that you follow that you're like, maybe I don't know this, I'm gonna pick up this extra skill? Is there some? Because there's some. I mean, I learned all of this from a few YouTube guys that I obsessed and binge watched all their stuff.
I mean, there's one guy that I used to really like, and I still like him. I admire him a lot.
Sure.
Brandon Lee.
Okay.
He has a company called Run and Gun.
Okay.
And he does travel films around the world.
Okay.
But he does them there almost like you feel that you're there.
You feel like you're Yeah. It's like immersive.
Yeah, very immersive. And he does all the sound design and transitions and everything. It's not like he does some of the show-off transitions, the way, but it's more about like just putting yourself in that and making you feel it. So he's one of the guys that like I really liked when I started seeing his work. But I think there's another. Have you ever seen a video called Watchtower of Turkey?
I have not. No.
So it's probably 7 years old.
Okay.
But it started a whole new trend of like filmmaking. It's like you don't know where it's going and what's happening, and you see all these crazy transitions and zooms in, and it's just like you feel like you're in a very like
the Watchtower of
Turkey.
Okay. Wow.
And that kind of changed. Like for that style of filmmaking, it changed me, and I think people like Brandon Lee was also kind of inspired by that.
Okay. Yeah. I love the name, man. I'm a big Brandon Lee, right? Yeah. Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee's son, right? Yeah. It's a good name, man. I love it. I love that. That's really cool, man. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then also just filmmakers in general, just watching movies and seeing what I like and what I don't like.
Are you able to enjoy a movie, or are you there kind of like?
Well, I remember
I like that. Are you picking things apart?
There was a stage. For maybe a year where all I did was look at lighting in movies.
I was just going to ask you how important lighting is.
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge. Okay.
It's huge. Sound and lighting are so overlooked.
Okay.
I have another producer friend named Ada, and she she was like encouraging me, like when I was doing all the low budget music videos. She's like, you got to get a lighting person. You got to get, because it'll just make everything look that much better.
Okay, sure.
And I only have so many hands.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But I didn't want to spend the money on it. But I mean, whenever I hired somebody else to do something on set, it always made everything look so much better, and that led to me getting bigger jobs. Okay.
Well, so it's like chicken or the egg. You're like you got to spend the money, but then you're gonna get the It's like an investment, right? Investing in your business. Yeah, I love it. So grab or I'll ask you the next question. Okay, let's grab it. Yeah, and I'll round two. Yeah. So this is a Korean style.
I'll take
So go for it, dude. Round two. Yeah. Beautiful. So cheers, man. Well.
Yeah. Cheers.
Okay. We'll see. Thank you. We made this one. One of my ex-staff his family had like a Korean place, and this was as soon as I heard that, I told him that I love Korean wings, and he was like, well, let's do a sauce, and I said let's make it and sell it. And like day one, we started selling it, and there was a group of like 10 Korean dudes came in, and I just had it on the menu. And then they're like, oh, cool, yeah, it's half price wing night. Let's do Korean wings and beer. And I'm like, oh, I was so nervous, dude. But they liked it, though. It turned out pretty good, yeah.
How many of these podcasts have you done now?
I'm glad you asked that. You are number 69, dude. No one ever asks except for number 69, yeah. That's so funny, yeah. We've been doing it every Wednesday for almost a year and a half.
Wow.
Even through Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. So Chinese New Year, we're going to close for a week. But the Sunday before, I'll do it on that day, and then keep going, right? Momentum is a big thing, right? I mean, sometimes people will cancel.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God, I can't find anyone in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, okay, do a little video game. I get my wife on, we'll do a stream, or I'll get my daughter and we'll do a little video game stream. We'll do something. Thank you. That's perfect. Thanks. And I just keep trying to improve it, man. And I'm a big Joe Rogan fan.
Yeah,
right?
He's great.
So I try to look at what he's doing, and I mean, there's a couple of other ones out there that are great. And
that's what I'm talking about, though, is just watching people that you admire and learning from them.
And I
look. They might
at,
not have like videos that are teaching you how to do it, but you can learn from them just by seeing how they do it.
Exactly.
And Joe Rogan's incredible.
Joe Rogan, I mean, what I like about him is, well, that's what inspired me to do this. I mean, we meet people in the restaurant business from different kinds of backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
Can we do water? Yeah. Like we have director, right? Music video directors. We have like MMA fighters and comedians and restaurateurs and entrepreneurs, and it's just. And I whenever I chat with them, I just love it. And I'm like, this is great. I'm like, you know what? We should have just recorded this conversation and shared it because it's awesome. So that's what we're doing. Yeah. It's a little bit slow to start and it takes a little while, but hey, man, I love it. So if it's something that you like, it's not really work, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think anyway. But, I mean, back to your directing, man. Are there any times where you've been surprised by how humble one of your clients is, because you're dealing with famous people sometimes, right? Quite a few times, right?
Yeah.
Is there any times where you'll be like, oh, this person's really nice, they're really humble, or maybe they're not nice, or maybe you don't want to share too much, but
I don't want to talk
positive.
too much about like
positive, yeah.
The negative ones.
No, of course not. Yeah, the positive.
I have
positive,
been absolutely astonished by some of my
the positivity. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man. Yeah. Do you have some that are somebody that you're like, whoa, you're a little bit nervous to meet this person, and you're like, this person's amazing?
Actually, like, I was pretty nervous. A couple weeks ago, I was helping Ada, the other producer I was talking about, like shooting a documentary, and I got to meet Adin.
Okay.
She's do you know who she is? She's another pretty famous singer.
Yeah.
And like, she was so chill, so
really?
Funny.
That's cool.
Like, always cracking jokes.
It's always nice to have the humbleness, right?
Yeah. And that was absolutely incredible just meeting her, because I was not expecting her to be like that.
Okay, yeah.
I knew she was kind of known for being fun and everything like that, but I was not expecting her to be super amiable and goofy. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Is there anybody that you would like to work with, sort of, maybe if you go back home? Maybe we won't pick somebody about here in Taiwan, but or you can if you want. But if you go back home and you'd be like, I want to work with this person.
For music videos?
Yeah. Or documentaries or whatever, like whatever you got.
Well, if I'm saying music videos,
let's do that.
Oh, the first person that comes to my head, and it's probably not. If you ask me again in 10 minutes, I'd probably say somebody else. But I think Machine Gun Kelly, maybe.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's kind of carrying the torch from some of the music that I used to listen to.
Okay.
Like, did you Blink 182 and stuff like that?
Oh, sure, of course I know about that stuff. Yeah,
Travis Barker, he was like the drummer, and now Travis Barker and Machine Gun Kelly work on a lot of stuff together.
Oh, okay.
And so Travis Barker is kind of like a god to me.
Okay,
and so like,
so you can see his influence.
Yeah, I can see his influence and all that stuff like that. So it's, for me, like, I really like the stuff that he's coming out with a lot of the time.
Beautiful. That's very cool. Yeah.
But I do have to say that he had like there was Eminem put out the Rap God music video or a song a long time ago. Okay. That was a long time ago. But then Machine Gun Kelly put out one that was like the Rap Devil or something like that, and he was trying to diss Eminem. Like a parody? And it's like, man, you can't try and like diss Eminem. Eminem's like
Eminem is the god.
Yeah, he's the god of rap. Like,
Eminem
for like that. You can't be. There's not another really good white rapper out there right now. Even though he's like kind of aged not quite as well, but like he was on the top and he still is on the top for me.
Eminem was I mean he was. I mean that movie, right? 8 Mile. I think that was his prime, right? That movie was so well done, and I love the rap battles at the end. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just watch those when I kind of feel like sitting around and just the rap battles are great.
Need some motivation too.
I love that. Yeah,
it's almost like a Rocky movie, but with rapping.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's the kind of same character arc.
Do you have something like a go-to motivation, sort of a person or music or channel on YouTube or whatever, something that gets you like pumped? Like, are you going to the gym, or are you going for a walk, or are you going for a run, or like you're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna meet a famous person, and you need to bring like your super A confidence game up?
I don't have anybody like online or anything or music that I listen to, but like
what gets you moving?
I think my producer.
Okay.
Like,
oh really? Nice.
Haley Huang. She She really like gives me the confidence that I need for all those things.
Be like, all right, let's go.
Because I know if like I have her, we can do anything.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty high praise, man. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Okay. You were saying that you were working on quite a few projects before Chinese New Year, yeah?
Yeah. So every year.
Is there a big reason for Chinese New Year, pre-Chinese New Year projects?
Absolutely. So just like in the United States, every company has like a budget that they have to work with every year.
Okay.
And in the United States, generally that budget would be up at like New Year.
Okay.
But in Taiwan, it's Chinese New Year, where they try and get everything done out before Chinese New Year.
Yep. Okay.
And if they don't spend all that money, then the next year it's a possibility they won't get that much money in their budget again, because the company will be like, where can we cut costs?
The company will be like, I gave you $1 million last time and you didn't spend it all. You only spent 800, so this year you get 800. Yeah, right? That makes sense,
basically what happens is at the end of every year, like, everybody's just trying to spend all their money now.
Hey, I know a place they can spend it. Yeah. So do you. Yeah.
So everybody's just trying to get as much marketing stuff done or anything at the end of the year as possible.
That sounds fantastic, man.
Yeah, so I have a few projects coming up, and also working on right now.
Do you have like a list of kind of like go-to guys that you're like, I need a good, actor, actress?
Oh,
sort of. You must have like I seen Brandon O'Neill in a bunch of your videos.
He's been in so many
Brandon's
of my videos.
The man. I love Brandon O'Neill.
It's hilarious,
man.
actually. His first acting gig was like on a project that I was shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, so like
that's how you met him? Or?
That's how I met him. Okay. Yeah. So it's
he's
pretty,
a great guy. Yeah,
he's blown up now though. He's getting pretty big.
That's good. Yeah, he's funny too.
Yeah, he's
got a really good YouTube channel, man. He's super funny. Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of traction. So for like actors, if I can, I like to get Brandon. Just because he's easy to work with.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really like him.
He's a funny guy, man. I've known him and his dad and even his sister for a long time, man. It's cool to see him kind of blowing up, and he comes here to watch UFC fights, and he brings his buddies and a pretty good group of kids, man. Good guys, man.
Yeah.
I love it. So you have anything that brings you out of this? Like, do you ever get into like a slump?
Oh, I get in slumps all the time.
Like a slump,
I think I get in
slumps.
I think I get in slumps when I'm editing.
Okay.
So if I have a project that's like a lot more difficult than I was expecting for editing.
Okay.
Like it's like when I'm editing, I'm stuck in my room.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm somebody that really likes to be outside, and I don't like to be in the city either.
Okay.
So
you're like a nature kind of. Well, I guess if you're like the Nat Geo going up in the mountains and stuff.
So I get in a slump sometimes during editing.
Okay.
And I guess.
Any tips for those in the slump right now?
Try and see as much daylight as possible.
Okay.
I think I
really
think natural light is a huge thing.
Okay.
So if you are depressed, just get outside. You don't even have to go out with friends. Yeah. Just get outside of the city.
Okay.
As much as possible. See some sunlight. It's pushing yourself to just get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds. Yeah. I mean, I also am the same, and for this business, it's you got to be out and chatting, and you got to be kind of like happy and stuff, and which is really good. But sometimes you get like we had a little office recently, and I'd have to go in and have a meeting, or I'd have to do something. And if you're inside, for me, if I'm inside and you're doing like a 1 or 2 hour meeting and you're just in there like 6 hours or 8 hours for the day, I'm kind of like, I'm like dizzy. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I feel a little bit sick. I'm feeling dizzy. And yeah, I get it, man. But you go outside and it's like, recharge me.
Because I get in editing holes where I'll start at 7, 8 in the morning and I'll edit until midnight or even later.
Is there like the equivalent of like a writer's block, like when you're creating your stuff?
I think so. Editing, I think, in my opinion, is a lot like chess in a way, because if say like a client says like, I don't like this cut, can you put in this one? But then if you switch to this one, then all these other pieces have to move. And to make those work, you have to like, you're basically shuffling everything around to try and make this one change work without anybody noticing that you made those changes. That's funny. It's a big game where you're trying to shuffle everything around. And I do think that also editing is a lot like making music as well. So any of those things, you can have blocks. You know, like what am I going to do? And how do you solve this problem? How do I get to the next step? And editing, for me, like, I love editing, but at the same time, I also can hate editing.
It's time-consuming, right?
Time-consuming. And I don't like wasting my time.
That makes sense,
if editing takes me for one video, like, over...
Let's say a 3-minute video, like a really nice video, like the video that I worked on with you guys. I mean, what is that going to be, 3.5 minutes? 4 minutes?
Yeah, I think it's 3 minutes.
Normal, right? 3 minutes? So how long would it take you from like, here's your footage, blam, edit that?
That one was pretty clear. Like for me, like my first cut, I think I showed you the first cut too. I don't know. Maybe
I didn't want to say, but it looks great.
I think you might have seen almost one of the last cuts too. Most recent cuts. Pretty close to.
It looks great.
My first cut probably took me. It was pretty fast, like maybe 5 hours.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I did a lot of shuffling around, and then like I probably have total into that video maybe 20 hours for editing.
But is that average, or
no?
Or that's like just because this one was done so well, kind of when you did it, or?
Like some music videos I can actually finish in a couple hours. Some take me a lot longer when I try and solve problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the thing is, like when you're talking about when I'm shooting, I'll be editing while I'm shooting. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're calling it like on the spot. No, do this, do that. Yeah.
This is something that I think is an advantage and a disadvantage. Because when I'm shooting, I'll try and think like, does this work? Well, can I make it work when I'm editing? But if I'm not the editor and I'm not the normally there's these 3 jobs that are separated. So there's like the DOP, which is the cinematographer, the cameraman, the director, and then the editor. Those are 3 different jobs. But I'm doing all 3 of those things a lot of the time because I just... So what ends up happening is I'm the camera guy, and normally there's a director saying like, can we get another take? And I'm thinking, as a director and a cameraman, I'm like, this will work in the editing. But it might not be the best take, but I can shoot a lot faster and I can edit a lot faster this way.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I'm making compromises along the way, but I'm also changing things while I'm shooting and making things better sometimes. So it's a really hard thing to say if it's the right way or the wrong way, but I'm also editing while I'm shooting.
Well, that's good. That's a learned skill, right? To be calling it like live like that, right? So before that, you would just have a whole bunch of stuff. And be like, okay,
how do I do that?
How long would that take? Sorry, let me twist that. There you go. Like, I mean, on average.
Like if it's a video that I'm really not into.
Sure.
A 1-minute video may take me 15 hours sometimes.
Oh, wow.
But if it's a video that I'm really into and it's 1 minute, sometimes it'll take me 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, it's like, it can be almost anywhere.
That's a huge range. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know if you saw the guitar video that Brandon was in
recently.
That's
a great video. Yeah.
That one I edited the first cut.
Did you do the voiceover for that?
Yeah,
I could recognize that. Yeah.
That one, like, I probably edited like the first cut in under an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great video too. Yeah. And you did the voiceover. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was you. Yeah. Very cool.
That was just to try and make the video a little... I felt like I was missing something. From what I originally thought. So then I was
it was like something that you wanted to put in at the end.
Yeah, because I just felt it was like not quite strong enough. So I added that in. Oh, and actually that video too.
That's a great one, man.
There were that day it felt super. There's all these things happening that weren't planned on. My camera, my Red. I didn't shoot on my Red on the music video, but I have.
I was curious because Red is like that's the best, right?
Yeah,
the best
so
of the best,
that's well, there's another brand too that are kind of like I would say Ari's slightly better, and then there's Red, but it's all taste.
Okay.
But I have a Red camera, and it started smoking on that shoot, and then kept on shutting down.
Oh wow.
And so after that shoot, my Red's just dead.
Really? Oh wow.
And so I got to send it back to the U.S. to get fixed now, which is like.
I was gonna say
depressing.
Like, one of your okay, so the Red, that's your go-to, yeah?
Yeah.
I was gonna say what was your go-to because out of all the sort of let's say research or videos or whatever, everyone seems to say Red cinematic Red is like the best, and also very expensive.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But worth it.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
But worth it.
Yeah, if you're doing what I'm doing.
If you're doing what you're
it.
doing, yeah.
There's a lot of other cameras out there now that are, I think, pretty comparable that you can get for a fraction of the money.
Okay.
Like I just bought another one that's like a backup for me until the Red gets fixed.
Okay.
But when we shot that music video, the Wobusho Aini with Patrick, I used a different brand, which is a much cheaper brand. You can buy this camera for, I think, like maybe $2,500 US or something like that, and it's pretty comparable.
Okay. Really?
Pretty comparable.
Wow.
It's I mean, especially after you do all the color and all that stuff, you're not going to really see a huge difference.
Okay.
So it's a Blackmagic.
Blackmagic.
Yeah,
okay.
Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera.
Okay.
So actually, what's really funny is Red was what Blackmagic was, or what Blackmagic is now.
Okay.
Red was like somebody that caused a disturbance in the camera industry.
Okay.
Because before, film cameras and digital film cameras were way inaccessible.
Okay.
And then Red
you have
came
to be
out,
like Hollywood or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red came out and they started making. There were still Hollywood cameras.
Quality. Okay.
Hollywood cameras, but you start seeing like movies like The Hobbit and stuff like that.
Such a good movie. Yeah.
And that was shot on a camera that's an early Red.
Okay.
And that camera you could get, I think, probably for around 40, 50,000
US.
Whereas the other ones before that, you're looking at 120, 130, 140.
So
and they cut
not
the
possible
price
for a regular video creator.
Yeah, and even like 40, 50,000 sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
But you're cutting that price in half or even more.
What's a Hollywood movie? Like let's say X-Men. Not X-Men. I'm losing my mind. What's the big one? I love this show, and I can't even remember the name.
So like
what's like the Hollywood ones? Like a big Hollywood movie.
Oh, a lot of Reds. They use
They're
a lot
all
of Reds.
red.
Well,
Okay,
they're Reds
okay.
and Aris.
Okay.
So if you look at Michael Bay, if you talk about like the crazy Michael Bay movies, they're all Reds.
Okay.
He exclusively shoots on
So
Reds.
a camera that he would use for that kind of a movie, what would be the price of that, just for comparative speaking? Like ballpark. I mean, I have no idea.
Like he's always using basically the top of the line Red. So
okay.
you're probably
What's the
looking
top of the line Red?
For a basic setup, you're looking around 60,000.
Okay.
Yeah, 60,000 US. So around 2 million NT.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. So when do you think it's the right time for a video creator to make the move from like a Canon, Sony, or whatever to like a Red or a Blackmagic or something?
I think it's really easy to tell somebody to go to a Blackmagic.
Okay.
I think it's because
it's kind of like the bridge.
If you're focusing on video, that's the right move to make.
Blackmagic.
Yeah, because it's 95% of what an Ari or a Red is.
Okay.
You're getting really close.
And that's available in Taiwan, a Blackmagic?
It's available, and you can get them for like, I actually just got one secondhand for 45,000 NT.
Oh, wow.
Which is $1,500 US, and I'm
45,
using that.
I mean, I think I paid,
and that
I paid like 20 for my little
I'm
Sony
using
there.
I'm using that to replace my Red until
that's
it gets
incredible.
fixed.
Wow.
And that's why we shot the Wobusho Aini, and also the other Patrick music video too. Was we shot the Butterflies one?
The Butterfly one. That's a great video, man.
We
I
shot
love
that with two cameras. One was with my Red, like one camera was my Red, and the other one was a Blackmagic.
Are you able to? Two companies, two style of cameras. Are you able to sort of color correct them so that they match?
That's the thing, though. So like,
no?
this is another interesting thing.
Sorry,
for me.
yeah, because I actually am really interested in video.
Yeah.
Because I'm always researching it, but nobody else that I know is interested in it. So I'm like, I'm gonna ask my questions here.
Yeah. So there's a couple ways to do it. One is you have really good color vision.
Okay.
Or you have a color checker, which is like a chart that basically says this color should be this color.
Okay.
And you can tell the computer be like, match these two cameras.
Okay.
So it has like a chart with a bunch of different colors, and you take a shot of that.
Okay.
That makes it a lot easier. Or you can just find a professional colorist to match the two cameras, and if they're both shooting raw.
Professional colorist. Okay.
Yeah. So like butterflies.
Yes.
I hired a colorist.
Okay.
Because I'm actually partially colorblind.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
wow.
like
you wouldn't guess that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like butterflies was a professional colorist, but then the Wobuso Aini, I colored myself, but I have to have a friend come in at the very end to be like, oh, the person's skin here looks a little bit too magenta.
Okay.
On this shot, so then I like bring it back a little bit.
Beauty.
Yeah.
And you shoot everything in RAW?
Yeah. I shoot everything in RAW.
Okay.
But I think going to a RAW workflow, if you're getting serious about filmmaking, it's pretty awesome. Okay. Because you can even change the ISO in post.
Okay.
It's like if you have huge exposure issues because you're in a rush, or you find out that your white balance is wrong. You can change your white balance in post. You're not going to lose any quality.
Really? Oh, okay. Wow.
So,
that's cool.
Like, for me, that was a huge step.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That sounds cool. I love that, brother. Because I really like this stuff, and it's really hard to find any info on it, you know, where you can just kind of pick somebody's brain that actually knows what they're doing.
And a lot of people will, like, for example, one of my friends, she posted on Facebook recently. She's like, hey, I want to start taking pictures more regularly and stuff. What camera should I get? Yeah. And I use your smartphone. Like now that
they're pretty I
mean, for you to buy like a $3,000 camera, lenses, and editing software to get what your cell phone gets right out of the camera, the newer ones.
Okay, like a brand new iPhone or something.
Yeah, the brand new iPhones. It's going to be so much work for you to learn how to do the Photoshop.
It's a lot of work. Yeah,
and then having the right lenses and everything. That's a smart phone.
Yeah.
It's computational photography. It knows what's the sky, what's the trees, what colors to make pop, what a person's skin color should be.
Okay.
Whereas like you take the snap and 3 seconds later you have a really nice image.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's all these people that are gonna be like, no, you need to buy a Canon, you need to buy a Nikon.
Yeah.
In reality, like this phone, for her to get exactly what you would get from that phone with a Nikon, you're going to be looking 2 years down the road before you can get that same look.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, because when I we did some stuff with cell phone and then like an older one, and then we upgraded to we had a GoPro and we did some stuff with a GoPro, and then the GoPro to the Sony was a jump as well. And then there's just so many like options and things in the Sony that I don't even know what they do. And I'm like fooling around with them, and I have to like watch hours of like Sony tutorials just to be like, what the hell's wrong with my camera? The other one was just like, let's go, right? So it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's really
and
funny.
And there's no lenses.
Yeah.
Add the lenses, forget about it. Yeah.
I was doing another documentary down in Taichung. I think it's Taichung, but Beigan or something like it's another temple for Amida. Which Buddha is it there? No, it's been so long. Yeah. Guan Yin or something. I can't remember. It was like, but a big temple festival there. Okay. And this is for Nat Geo.
So cool.
And I was shooting there. Like I had my Red, and we had an FS7.
Okay.
And FS7 is a much more documentary style camera, but I like shooting with my Red, so I convinced the director to let me bring my Red. Okay. And then there were some shots that you couldn't get with these bigger cameras. Okay. That I just wanted to get. And I just snuck them with my phone, and I was like, well, maybe we can use it, but like for me, it's more personal. Like
sure, okay, like memories.
And so then I'm creeping over edges of buildings, like shooting these slow moving shots with a cell phone.
You don't want to do that with your camera. You'd be like,
it's in the middle of the night, but I mean, there's a lot of like the temple lights and all this stuff going on, and fireworks going up. But those shots ended up getting used in the documentary. Really? And you can't tell. No one would be able to tell
that it's a cell phone.
Yeah. Okay. So once you get into like you get in a colorist on something, and also if the phone is a newer phone, and that was a Pixel 2, that was still a few years ago. Okay. And it's mixing with a Red. Yeah. It's mixing with an FS7, which are these some of the top cameras. So I mean,
so recommendation for somebody who was just going to start vlogging or something: just don't get a camera. Just get have your decent cell phone. Okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
What about image stabilization? Phones are pretty good.
Yeah, actually, that one too is like I know that I think the iPhone's a little bit better now. I haven't really kept up, but I have a Pixel 5 now. Yeah. And I can just walk with that thing, and it looks like it's on a Wending Qi stabilizer.
Gimbal or whatever.
Yeah, gimbal.
Wow, that's cool. let's grab the next one, brother, and keep going.
This is where it starts to get more serious.
These two are pretty rough. It's kind of starting to swing up.
Okay.
That's a jalapeno hot sauce with some wasabi in it. It's like a mixed up sort of a thing that we tried. Yeah. So go for it, dude.
I'm warning you right now. I'm not a huge wasabi fan, though.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't like mustard.
It's like 50-50. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what I can do.
Hey, no worries, brother. Yeah.
Like some people don't like cilantro.
That's
It's like a gene thing. Or
it's
like
a gene thing, they say, right?
But like for me, like wasabi, I don't know if it's the
dude.
same thing, but it tastes like a chemical, like a toilet bowl cleaner or something to me. Okay. Like it just feels like my body's like, this is a chemical, get it out.
Okay.
So like it's not that I don't like the flavor necessarily. It's like my body's just like, don't do it.
Well, you can skip it if you want, bro.
I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens.
We've toned down the wasabi a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if you're not. It's jalapeno hot sauce and wasabi. Yeah.
The wasabi still tastes like a chemical to me, but I'm going to do it.
Okay, all right. It's not too hot, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's not the hot that gets me with wasabi. It's that chemical.
Mm-hmm. What gives you motivation for, like, new footage? Like, let's say you're filming something, you're like, okay, we got it. And then you're just like, no, I want to do it one more time because I think we can do it better. Do you have some kind of what's the spark that sparks sort of new footage motivation for you?
On a single shoot or just overall?
Like a single, either overall.
So if I'm in the middle of a shoot, maybe it might be somebody else on set that sees something that I didn't see.
Okay.
And that's like always having extra eyes of like people that you trust on your team that also have experience and because they've shot different things than me. They've seen different things in their life.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
So they might have a different angle or something like that sometimes they'll surprise me with something that's like really incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool.
That's one thing on a set. And then also sometimes, the sun's slowly moving.
Oh,
but sometimes
yeah.
that slight difference sometimes can be a huge difference in how everything, hits the scene.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. How's the wasabi? You don't have to do the wasabi if you're against wasabi, man. That's all good, dude. Yeah.
I'm a trooper.
All right.
Wash it down with some horchata, though.
There you go, horchata. Yeah. There's whatever you want, man. It's not too spicy either, right?
No.
Okay, good.
Not at all.
Good. Yeah, we're just chilling. So you're pretty good with the spice usually.
Yeah,
like
but
what about back home? What about back home? You grew up with
I love
spicy?
Yeah.
Okay,
I used to
good.
just eat jalapenos as a kid sometimes too, but it's more to show off.
Okay,
but I'd still just eat raw
sure.
jalapenos in front of my
Okay, well that's pretty cool.
But I'm still concerned about.
Well, the last two are a little bit rough. The next one's.
I remember
chill,
I watched Brandon's.
Brandon was.
And he's like these last two just is a big jump.
Yeah, they're a pretty big jump. Yeah. Because we had a few guests on where we didn't really have the last two. We toned everything down, just to keep a good conversation.
Yeah.
And then they got to the end and they're like, "Well, I was expecting something," and then it's kind of like because the whole point is not. It's just kind of just to chat, share your story, and do some cool things and introduce you to some people. And
so obviously, Hot Ones was also
Well, of course, I love Hot Ones. Yeah.
So out of like Joe Rogan and Hot Ones, like where do you get most of your inspiration from?
For sure, Joe Rogan. Yeah. So basically, those were the two shows that I wanted to do, that I like. And the Hot Ones, like I said, Wednesday's usually kind of a weird day. We were going to start with tacos, right? Because we have Taco Tuesday, which is obviously Tuesday, but that day's really busy, like already. And then on Thursday, we do all-you-can-eat street tacos, which again is
Thursday,
really busy.
I'll be back here tomorrow.
Be back tomorrow, yeah. So we do like all-you-can-eat street tacos. We grind out our corn tortillas, and it's great. Yeah. And we grind them out all the time anyway. But I mean, that day it's like an all-you-can-eat. Yeah. You can try all the flavors. You can have whatever you want. And but again, that's busy. So if I cut the restaurant in half, it's not really a smart thing to do, right? So I'm like, Wednesdays, and let's do it on Wednesdays. We do half-price wings on Wednesdays. Sometimes it's packed, sometimes it's not. But it was kind of like a weird day, Wednesday. It's like hump day. It's like, should we go out? Should we just get at home, just make some palm mien or something, right? So I said, let's do Wednesday, but let's do wings so we can promote the wings. And I've always been a big fan of Hot Ones, right? And it's cool, it's fun. But I have to say, I've been watching Rogan for everything. So this is kind of like a combination of The two that I like, man.
I mean, I haven't watched Hot Ones in a long time, but they're more like single question.
Yeah, for sure. Question. Yeah, no.
And Joe Rogan is more like an organic conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So again, we try to, like, I have questions and stuff ready. If the conversation kind of slows down, the whole point is just to get chatting.
See what happens,
just see what happens. Yeah, the first few I did. Like, if you go back, there's somewhere like the GoPro just like shut off, and it's like it was so bad, you know. But you know, if you don't have anything prepped, then it's just kind of like there's a lot of dead air and stuff, right? So, but right now we're just chilling, man. Yeah. You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Let's ready for the next one? Okay,
I'm
grab
ready.
the next one, man. The next one is like similar to the cayenne one, but instead of that, we use instead of the cayenne pepper, we use like those Thai chili peppers.
Okay.
Like the bird's eye. Yeah. So that's this.
Huge fan of Thai food.
Yeah, me too, man. So, jumping into this industry in the last few years and like being on the huge upswing, what's been your biggest challenge? As you're here, you know the culture, you know the language, right? So, has there been any like obstacles that you're just like, oh my gosh, this is tough?
I think,
or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if I should even be saying this, but I think like my biggest issue is getting in with the agencies, because I want to start getting more commercial work.
Okay.
Like bigger commercial projects.
Yeah, man. Okay.
But I think the relationship between agencies and
is it cutthroat?
production,
is it a cutthroat business?
It's cutthroat business, but also at the same time, there's a lot of sneaky under the table stuff happening.
Yeah, that happens.
Where it's like, you know, they work with the same 3 companies all year.
That's tough.
But they have a bunch of different vendors on their charts. But at the end of the year, there's like a 10% that gets pushed back to the person that's giving them the project.
Oh, okay.
So if you have this guanxi,
okay,
like you're basically set.
Okay.
But I'm not in that circle.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Meo guanxi, Joyo guanxi.
Meo guanxi, Joyo guanxi. Yeah, I like that. I never heard that before, but that's funny. I mean, I think that's a big thing here, but I think back home anywhere I think it's similar, right? Like, for example, if somebody comes in and let's say you're the business owner and you've got this guy who's super qualified, you got this guy who's not, but yeah, I mean, you know, you play golf with this guy's dad, and he's like, hey, it would probably be. I would imagine it would be similar, right?
But a lot of the times too, like
and then it's the wrong choice for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I get kind of the short end of the stick on a lot of things.
But it's been a few. How many years has it been? 3, 5? For the whole music video.
Oh, music videos.
Production,
it's like
2.5. Okay,
2.5 years since I really started doing music videos.
Okay, but I mean you're doing Kimberly, right?
Yeah.
And Patrick, and I went through the whole list of
Ocean.
Yeah.
A lot of people that have
good
like
ones, man. It's pretty awesome. And it seems like
Julia Wu.
It's like a young vibe, the younger guys, a young vibe. Like you're giving these young guys like some pretty cinematic, modern style videos. I think it's pretty awesome, man. Yeah.
To be honest, though, it's pretty funny. We grew up watching MTV.
Of course, I want my MTV, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So they don't really have that anymore, but YouTube, obviously.
YouTube kind of,
but like,
I guess, yeah.
MTV was like a thing. You know, it set the style. It controlled everything, and you just watch music videos all day, and then you'd have other videos with the celebrities.
Yeah.
But I grew up in that era where music videos were kind of a king thing. You know, that's like I always admired music videos and what they could do.
Right?
Yeah, they had stories, and they were like so creative.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes I'll go back
Spike
and
Jones directing music videos. You have all these other people that are just getting like famous directors that are going in and they shoot movies.
Yeah.
They shoot these high-end Super Bowl commercials, but then they jump in and make a music video, and it's just like.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I mean, sometimes when I'm going back and like you know, you're talking about like new music and stuff. I don't really listen that much to the new stuff. So like I always listen to the old stuff I grew up with, right? Mm-hmm. And like I'll go back and I'll watch some of the old videos and stuff, and it's just like, oh my god, this is great! What a great video!
I'll even go back and like I remember recently I was looking at some Nelly videos. It's like, man, I should like try and do something like that. And this video is like 20 years old.
I love the stories that the videos would tell. Yeah, like a music video was almost like a mini movie, right? Yeah. So I kind of got that vibe as well, like from some of the videos that I saw, like Butterflies, right? Mm-hmm. That's a great one. That's such a good video. I mean, the music is good. It's well done, and I love the story. It's really cool, man.
Oh, we just had another one. This last week, I think. Maybe. Yeah, it was this weekend. I think it hit 10 million views. One of the videos we did for Mars 23.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah, and like that was a really fun one too.
How did you get like plugged into like these are like the young but pretty famous guys? Like these are pretty famous guys.
A lot of them, when I shoot them, they're not famous yet.
Okay.
But then I'm getting them right at their uptick. We're both. Everybody's kind of coming up on their
growing
uptick
together.
So I think a lot of it is like us trusting each other and working with each other,
trying to bring each other to the next level.
Yeah, and so that's like I feel like there's a little bit of a camaraderie between a lot of the people I work with. Is that like we're both, really trying to push each other up together, and I feel like that happens a lot of the time. So there's been a few artists and a few groups that I've really worked with where, I shoot them and then they're getting all these projects and sponsorships and everything shortly after.
That's
and a lot of it has to do with how we've branded them and stuff in the videos.
Well, everybody looks so pro in the. I mean, it just like I said, the videos. I don't even know how to describe them. They just look great. They just look fantastic. Thanks. And sometimes you see videos and they don't look so good. You can see that they skimped on certain things. But yours.
Or they just don't have the skills.
Or the skills. Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with skills because.
I think growing up in the MTV era, that's got to have helped a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. I still go back to old music videos where people are referencing, a lot of Taiwanese directors are referencing new music videos. I'm referencing old music videos and movies.
I think that's the way to do it.
So I'm getting my inspiration from somewhere else than a lot of Taiwanese directors. And there's a lot of incredible Taiwanese directors.
Sure, of course,
that I really look up to, and I'm not frowning on anybody. But the reality is, like, I see too many people looking at what's trending right now.
Okay, understand.
And going back and actually learning from some of the greats.
Okay. Sure.
So, like, I'll reference Scorsese or something, like, in some of my movie or in my
favorite
videos.
Scorsese movie. What do you got? How about your favorite sort of? Let's do Scorsese. Or like an old school. Like, what's your favorite kind of old
school movie?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh man!
For us, we grew up with
it.
Okay,
so for me, like,
what kind of
a movie that I first really realized that it was like a movie. Was Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Like that movie.
That's
like,
such a good
changed
movie.
The game for me, and it's like
it's beautiful.
The crazy thing for me is that movie came out in '92, probably.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
If you look at it compared to a lot of movies today, even the animatronics and animation from then. Looks better than some of the movies today. It's more believable. Okay. You're not pulled out of the movie as much as by like, look at that CGI.
Yeah, sometimes it's pretty. The CGI is crazy.
Yeah.
We actually, what do you think of the new ones, Jurassic World and all that?
I'm not a huge fan of them, but I still enjoy seeing them. Yeah.
We don't have cable or we don't really watch much TV, but we do love to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Especially I take my daughter to the movies, so we watched. We watched the Jurassic Worlds in the movie theater, and she loved them. So we went back and watched the Jurassic Parks, and she loved them, man. She was just like, "This is fantastic." And
the thing with Jurassic Park is that it was world building. It built this whole new world. And
that's true. Okay.
Amazement, and the way that it was shot, they made the dinosaurs look so big compared to the people.
It was so good.
And they did a really good job at like creating the space and sizing and composition. In the original ones, you feel the greatness of everything.
It's very well done, man. We the new ones, I mean, it's different for me because I have a little girl with me and we're watching a movie and she's just in like awe, so I'm having a great time.
Absolutely.
I mean, it has to be like some of the movies you go back and watch them and maybe they're not that great.
Yeah.
But if I'm there with like my daughter, it's just great. I love it. So we loved them.
I think that's one of the best things about movies is being able to enjoy it with somebody else.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So
I agree.
Sharing these things too with your daughters, it's got to be amazing.
We went. Oh my God, we've gone to so many kids movies and we've gone to like she liked what was it? Guardians of the Galaxy. She loved it. She likes what's his name? Star-Lord guy. I can't remember his name. Yeah. Anyway, the main guy, and he's in Jurassic World, right?
Oh yeah.
And his name in in Guardians of the Galaxy is Owen, right? So she sees him pop out in Jurassic World, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, did you know that?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Owen works at Jurassic Park." That's what she said. She's like, "Owen works at Jurassic Park."
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he lives in space, but he works at Jurassic Park. And I was like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I guess so, yeah. Star-Lord. And I'm like, okay. It was so funny because, I mean, I don't put that together myself, but as a kid, she puts all this stuff together and just like, oh, cool. Like we were chatting before, there's an old movie, The Rock. He's the Tooth Fairy. And so when my daughter lost her first tooth, she's pretty cute, and she had like a really great set of teeth, and so she lost one, which is normal, right? She didn't know that, so she starts crying, and I'm like, "What's the matter?" And she's like, "Oh, I lost my tooth." She's probably 5, I think. Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, that's normal." And she's like, "No." And I told her about how that works, and she's just like, she wasn't believing it. And I said, "Well, what's going to happen now? You're going to make some money. The Tooth Fairy's going to come, right?" And she's just like, "Well, what's that?" So I told her about the Tooth Fairy, and she was like, okay. She was kind of believing it, and I'm like, you know what? Let's watch the movie. So we watched the Tooth Fairy starring The Rock. Yeah. And like they put him in like a tutu and stuff. It's hilarious. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, she loved it. And from then on, she's like, oh, the Tooth Fairy. Like, so whenever she sees him, she was like, oh, the Tooth Fairy. Oh, he's in Jumanji. The Tooth Fairy's in Jumanji. It's like, it's so funny how kids kind of put everything together like that. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's fun though, man. It's nice having a kid because you're kind of like a second childhood. Mm-hmm. Like we're going through all the old video games and it's so fun, man. I love it. Ready for the next one or what? What do you think? All right, let's do it. So you choose, bro. Okay. I don't want to say top or bottom, but top or bottom. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I'll take top.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Beautiful. Man. Enjoy, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming, man. Right? I really appreciate you coming out, bro.
Of course. No, thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm actually putting a little mini sort of version of this at home. We moved to a new apartment, and I have a little area where I'm going to turn into a studio because I want to do more stuff, man. And pretty cool. Let's get a little zoom on you. Boom. There you go.
Here I am.
There you are.
This one picked up a little bit.
It picked up, right? Boom. Yeah, I was cleaning the house the other day, and I just let YouTube play, and what was it? Like old rock and roll. I don't know how old you go for rock and roll, but like Dio, Rainbow in the Dark,
and for sure.
Holy Diver. Those popped up, and I was one of those two. I think it was Holy Diver, where he's like, it's like almost like Conan the Barbarian, that video, right? Where he goes and he's got like the sword, and I just like that comes on, and I'm like, oh, I forgot this video was so good, and then I watch it, and every time it comes on, I just think that's a great video. I love it. And he's just kind of like, and I mean, of course, like the special effects and stuff are, they're old, but the video's just great, man. Yeah. I really enjoyed that, man. Do you have any favorite oldie videos?
Music videos.
Yeah.
I think because I did start out with like shooting snowboarding and stuff like that. I really liked Beastie Boys music videos because they kind of had that same vibe.
Okay. How's that one? Just don't touch your eyeballs and you're good. Yeah.
I think I just did.
Okay. Oh, that's not good.
It didn't start out hot. And then 10 seconds in.
Yeah, I know. It does that.
It's a sneaky one.
It is. So what about, I'll get a little zoomer on that face. Boom. Looking good, man. Look at those eyes.
So those eyes?
Beauty. Yeah, man. Just don't touch your eyeballs.
Oh, I want it so bad.
I know. Everybody, people are like, yeah, no, I won't. That's the worst. Touching the eyeballs are the worst, man. Yeah. So Deep Flow Media.
Yeah.
Founded by you, right?
Yeah.
How many years ago?
Actually, that company.
Okay.
It was almost out of necessity because.
Yeah. There you go, brother. Looking good.
To get a lot of the projects were getting bigger and bigger, and I had to kai Fa Piao.
Okay, obviously. Yeah, Taiwan, baby, yeah, Fa Piao.
Yeah, so I started.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of that was out of necessity, but.
Okay. Where's the name come from?
Actually, I didn't know what to name it. I had no idea. I had a lot of ideas and stuff like that, and I just asked one of the labels, music labels, what I should name it.
Yeah.
And one of the bosses on one of the labels suggested 永续居留. So it's like to continuously flowing, like basically a continuous flow, like a river. And,
got it. Yeah. Be like water, my friend.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then,
okay.
And then from that, I kind of tried to figure out how I could translate it into English well enough.
Deep flow. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah. Before I had a lot of weird ideas, like coming from like Northwest, like skookum, which is like a word that means like big and grand.
Okay.
And that's from like Pacific Northwest.
Okay. Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle
okay.
area.
Right.
Native language. So
okay, that's cool. That sounds familiar. We have a lot of where I'm also Northwest, but I mean like Canada Northwest, almost Alaska. So we also have lots of like First Nations and stuff up there. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a few ideas like that. Chuckanut, kind of. I wanted to do some ideas like that, but I ended up not.
Okay.
I still have another idea for another company called Kuliana. And Kuliana, like I want to make like short films, like documentaries about people that are contributing to society and everything like that. But Kuliana
like
is like a
person project.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to
So,
just like okay.
But it's basically Kuliana is a Hawaiian word for like it's my.
It's a cool word.
Yeah, it's my duty. This is my skill, and it's my duty to give back.
Oh wow!
So sort of
that's pretty cool. Yeah. So you want to do that kind of like on a side passion project? Yeah. I think something like that would really fly, man.
Yeah, I think especially now, there's a lot of people that are just looking for things to bring them up.
I think so. Yeah. Again, we also want to do some like I know a lot of people in the restaurant business and stuff that are doing really cool stuff, but I mean, the funny thing is when your restaurant's established and it's doing well and stuff, the news, nobody gives a shit. Nobody comes to see you. Nobody wants to do a story on you. No one interviews you. Nobody cares unless you're like the new place down the street that's like 2 months old. Yeah. But then, unfortunately, this is a hard business, so sometimes within a year that place is gone.
Yep,
so they go into they're just like talking to all the new places, but then
what you need to do is make a weird dish that'll make the news, like boba tacos.
We could do that.
And that'll just not because it tastes good, but because Taiwanese people will make news about it.
That's funny. You know, we have actually. My wife is Hakka from Miaoli.
Oh yeah.
And so my mother-in-law does this Keja Kong roll. And so she taught me how to do it. So we do these Kong roll tacos that are awesome, man. They're they're coming up. They're one of our best top sellers, but they're not, maybe it's not wacky enough. Yeah. Maybe something crazy like
you do something
what
weird.
Was the milk tea? Milk tea pizzas or something. Boba tea pizza.
Yeah, they do some weird stuff to just make news. I swear. Like
it's crazy,
Pizza and
right?
Domino's, they just make stuff to make news.
I just saw somebody do a stinky tofu burger. Posted that online, and it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So do you have any, what are the plans, the 5-year plans for
5-year
Deep
plan.
Flow Media?
I think basically now is my goal is to kind of get to the point where I don't have to have my hands on every project, at least as a director, as
delegation
an editor,
and stuff.
And like just expanding and growing my company so that I have a few different directors on the roster, a few different producers on the roster, and I can just be like, here's a project that they came to us, and they're coming to Deep Flow Media not for me. They're coming to Deep Flow Media for Deep Flow. Like it's a stamp of approval, kind of. Like they know that the product is going to be good.
The stamp of assurance, quality seal.
Yeah. So I think right now a lot of people still come to Deep Flow for Kaley. But
understand,
my goal is to have people come to Deep Flow for everything else.
Everything else. Okay.
So I could start dishing stuff out to other people. And still pick up projects that I want to do. But do
you have any plans of maybe doing videos overseas, like other Asia countries, or
actually I used to do a lot of travel films. So I did a lot of tourism board stuff for Hawaii, Japan, Thailand,
do you have
Hong Kong. Like tourism boards in those different places,
cool.
And also
I saw a lot of your you do the commercials for like Gogoro, and you're doing like so many. It's such a wide range of things that you're doing. That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of my goal down the road is to.
What about like a travel channel where you just going out and do your thing, or not really?
Man, that was another thing I really wanted to do, but this year really put a wrench in the gears.
Of course, yeah.
So I had one project that we shot right when COVID was really starting to take off.
Okay.
That was about a week ago this year. Like 1 week ago, 1 year ago.
Okay, sure.
So just over a year ago. And after that, we haven't had any tourism board projects come up. And I guess that was a lot of my work was, flying around for at least travel companies or tourism boards.
That is a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What do you? So it has affected you. The COVID has affected you personally, like job-wise,
for that stuff.
Work-wise, yeah.
For tourism board projects.
What about like local stuff in here? Is it booming for like videos?
I think
and all that?
first, so like I would say like the first quarter and part of the second quarter, it slowed down because nobody knew what was going to happen.
Everyone was kind of scared, right?
So they were. Like Stuart, actually, when I came with Stuart, we were talking about planning on a project to shoot together.
Okay.
And then his company, they got scared with the COVID stuff coming on, and then they pulled back.
Okay.
And I was really looking forward to the project. I know he was really looking forward to the project.
Okay.
And we had to step back on that one and not him doing it because everybody was trying to cut their budgets. But now,
of course, yeah.
Now everybody's trying to, at least Taiwanese companies and branches are trying to spend the rest of their money that
which
they
is
didn't
great.
spend.
So if you guys have some extra money in your budget for videos,
come here.
Right here, Deep Flow Media.
And then come here for tacos.
And then come here for tacos,
afterwards.
We'll have the party afterwards here after your video's done.
Yeah.
Pay the guy the big bucks. We'll come here for tacos. Give you guys a good deal. Beautiful, man. What do you think? Are you recovered? You're good?
I'm recovered.
Okay, do it, man. Yeah.
I think maybe I should get a top off on
let's do it.
Something. Maybe
can we fill up the water and the horchata?
Yeah, water and horchata.
Water and horchata, yeah, no problem, bro.
So, I know you're from Canada.
Yes, sir.
But what part of Mexico is your family from originally?
It's funny. Guadalajara.
Wow.
Yeah. So my parents are. So my dad was born in Monterrey. My mom was born in Chihuahua, and their families moved to Guadalajara when they were little. And so their family settled there. And my sister was born there as well.
Really?
And then the three of them immigrated to Canada because my dad had a job. They were all really young.
Yeah.
And they said, actually, I just found out the story the last time I went back home, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There was a Canadian guy went to Mexico, and he was teaching, and he met my aunt.
Yeah.
And he married her, brought her to Canada. And she was the first one to go to Canada, and she called my dad, and she's like, everybody's kind of struggling down there. I mean, there's some good jobs, and you get some good money and shit up here, And so my dad's like 18. He's got like 18, 19. He's got like a 16, 17-year-old wife with they have a baby, which is normal back then, right? Yeah. And he's just like, I'm going to go up and check it out. He went up, and it was like $30 an hour Canadian, and it's just like, he's like, all right, well, let's do that.
What was he doing then? Was like oil
it was aluminum. Yeah. So it's still there where we are. Yeah. The little town that we're in is I don't know how many percentage, but I would say 60-70% is employed by that by the aluminum, I don't know, smelter factory. Yeah. So he basically he did that.
It's a good go.
Where he worked there, I don't know, 30 years or something. Just retired a few years ago. Mm. And so they went up. He brought my sister and my mom up, and all of a sudden they were making some good money, and they were in a good place, and white picket fence, right? So then they had me, and I was kind of planned. And
the Canadian dream.
The Canadian dream, right? That's us, right? So we went, and it's a good place, man. It was a nice place to be. It was a good place to live and good place to grow up. Really small town, but it's I mean, when you hit a certain age, really small towns, it's a little bit boring, but...
How many people?
8,000.
8,000.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, it's good, but if you want to stay, most of the people will work at the mill, the factory, which is okay because it's great money. And if you leave, most people go to like Prince George or Vancouver.
Yeah.
Right? And I have a lot of friends in Vancouver, some in Toronto, but I figure, I don't know, I'm going to try this place. And I came here, and I actually like Taipei way more than Vancouver.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot nicer. And, I mean, you've probably been to Vancouver. It's so close to Seattle, right?
Yeah. I'm actually not truly from Seattle. I'm from about 4 hours away, but Seattle's the easiest way to say it.
Seattle's the easiest, yeah. Well, I'm from, everyone, when I introduce myself, with Taiwanese people, they'll always be like, oh, Canadian, Vancouver or Toronto? And I'm like, really, really north of Vancouver. And they'll be like, and then they'll mention like Coquitlam or something that's like a part of Vancouver or something. And I'm like, no, like going. Alaska, And they're like, whoa. So, it's a good place, man. I like it. I miss it, but I mean, I can't go back there to work. It's like starting again. Yeah. And it's tough because the small town. I mean, most of my friends there. I mean, it's a small town mindset, right? Which is, I mean, I'm not shitting on anybody, but it's just like I don't even know what to say. Sometimes you go out for beers and people are talking about going on strike. Yeah. And I'm like, you guys are making bank for and you're not. Sometimes. You guys are joking about how you're not doing anything all day and you're making bank and you want to go on strike for like you're getting full benefits and medical and dental, but you want your 10 cents an hour. You're willing to risk it all. I mean, it doesn't sound right to me. Yeah. And then everybody looks at me like I'm an alien and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say you're drinking beer, So it's a weird feeling for sure. Yeah.
I'm from a pretty small town too, actually.
Yeah? How many people?
I think now we're under 5,000.
Oh, you got me beat there.
But
nice.
I think when I was younger, it was like 2,000 something.
Oh, shoot.
But
okay.
We're right by an Air Force base, so people start retiring.
You guys are reproducing, yeah.
People retire and start making babies there.
Okay, well, that's all there is to do in this small town, right? Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy times, brother. You get back much? I mean,
like last year I went back three times to my hometown. Like I went
like in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, cool. No, sorry, 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I made it back 3, but I made it back to the U.S. I think 4 times.
Okay,
But also, I mean, I link them up with projects too. Okay. So I go back for a project.
It's one of the bonuses,
then I'll swing
right?
back home.
That's nice. Yeah. When I go back home, it's like now my wife, I have my daughter. It's like it's a mission to get back there, man. It's crazy. Yeah. 3 tickets. The last time we went was a couple years ago, but before that was a long time, man. And also building the business. And when there's no money, you're just like, I can't come home.
I mean, I was like that for a really long time. I think now I'm just finally starting to get a little bit more freedom.
That's the way to do. That's the way to do it, man. It's I think it's that hustle, man. It's the hustle. I mean, I think I hate to say it, but that's missing a lot of the times. Yeah. And everybody wants the shortcut or the magic pill or the magic elevator to success. But, I heard this quote, everyone's looking for the elevator to success, but there is no elevator. You got to take the stairs, So it's pretty true. And in my case, definitely. And I think in most people's cases. For sure. And you were talking about sometimes they have people that are, they're raised maybe with money and they have all these chances, opportunity, but it's also hard to be hungry when you have never been hungry.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's tough for sure.
Yeah. Man. But they can always hire people to.
They can hire people to do whatever they want for sure. But when they have to do something, it's tough. Can't. It's tough. Yeah. It's a tough thing, man. And Taiwan's a lucky place, and I mean, you don't really see any homeless people. You don't really see much poverty, and there's no COVID. Here. I mean, it's a great place, man. Yeah. People,
super thankful.
People don't know, man. I always say it. Taiwan's a hidden gem, but it doesn't need to be hidden, man. Yeah. We gotta put the words out. So. That's what we're trying to do.
I'm not going to name the company or anything, but I was telling you I was shooting right before I came here.
Okay.
And the client really wanted to, we're going to shoot this video and we're going to put Taiwan on the map.
Okay.
And all this stuff.
Beautiful.
We want to do that. I'm like, yeah, that's great. And then she doesn't want it to look like anything related to Taiwan. She hired a Ukrainian actress. And then she's like, I don't want it to look Taiwanese. I want it to look Omeifeng. So like European American style. Like, I'm just thinking in my head,
tough, yeah. That's a
what
tough
are you
one.
really trying to do? Like, if you say you want to put Taiwan on the map, but then you don't want it to represent Taiwan.
That's tough. Yeah, it's a tough one because here, I mean, I remember when I taught, like I was teaching before, and I have ABC friends, and at that time I had like zero Chinese skills. I was just like, like I always joke in Canada, I was Mexican. Yeah. In Mexico, I'm Canadian. Yeah. And here I'm just white. Yeah. So basically, like here they're like, hey, you're white. Boom. You got the job, right? And it's crazy, but I also had the experience of I got a job like that. And when you'd get like some of those people that would come in, I was teaching English, they'd come in and they'd look around and there'd be like I want to see your English teacher. He'd like buzz me down, and I'd be like, "What's going on, brother? What's going on? What are you from?" You know, I was chat with him for like 2 minutes. How you doing? And he's just like, "Okay." He'd pull out like this wad of blue bills, pay the tuition for his kid. It's just like, and I'm just, they're like, "Okay, go back to work." And I'm like, "All right, see you later." You know, so I can see, yeah, like it's double edged. It's crazy, but I mean, I love it here, and I think that we should, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to share some stories of people doing cool stuff over here.
I think in reality, it's like Taiwan has a lot to be proud of. For
sure, yeah.
And they need to have the confidence to show that.
I think we see that more than they see that.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean we grew up somewhere else, so it's easier for us to see a contrast.
It's true, for sure, yeah. I agree. I have to agree with that, yeah, for sure.
But it's a beautiful place, awesome people, a lot of creative stuff happening.
Yeah, I love it. People are super nice.
Good restaurants.
Pretty good restaurants, decent Mexican now, right? So, good food. Favorite Taiwanese dish?
Oh, man.
Do you have one?
Is the... Like, okay, so like,
I mean, you don't have to pick one.
My easiest one to say is because it was one of the first things I fell in love with here, but I think it's a little strange. Is Yao Dun Paigu.
Okay.
Do you know?
Okay, yeah.
You know that one? It's like a night market food. It's
possible. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like stewed ribs in like a medicine soup.
Oh, I know exactly what that is. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I
that's
love
really
it.
Good.
But it's a strange answer, I think.
Yeah. Usually it's like Gongbao Jiding or something.
I love Gongbao Jiding.
So do I. Yeah. Yeah.
Most everybody knows if I go out for like roast salad, like
it's Gongbao Jiding.
I have to get Gongbao Jiding.
You know what's hilarious? We went to, I can't remember where it was. It was Miaoli or something, maybe somewhere where it was like not Taipei, and then we went in to this, Kwai Cao Dian or whatever, and we go in there and they're like, "Oh, why go no? What me Gongbao Jiding?" And I'm like, "Hey,
how do you know?"
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Whoa, why do you assume I'm Gongbao Jiding?" And she's like, "Well, because Waigoran Gongbao Jiding, that's what you guys get. That's what you guys get every single time." And I'm like, "No, I like this and that and this." And they're like, "Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that. So what do you want?" And I'm like,
Gongbao
Jiding. Liang
But it's true.
And I want two. Don't not just one. I want two. Yeah, but it's true. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. Actually, there's a place in Danshui called the Bigfoot Restaurant, and they do a decent Gongbao Jiding, but they do this pig intestine, Gongbao Jiding style. That's my favorite dish on the whole island. It's the best. When I go there, they're like, "Oh," they start making it, and they like, if people want it at the table, we order two, because like one, I'm just like, and I'm like, "That's mine. I'm gonna eat that," and they're just like, "You're a weird foreigner," And I'm like, "This is the best dish on the island because it reminds me of like tacos de tripas, and it reminds me of Gongbao Jiding, and it reminds me of, I don't know, it's just good.
Interesting.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and it's got crunchiness. Get on that, brother. You want the big boy on the top? Ooh, that might be all you, man. What do you think?
I'm scared, man.
Scared
of the top
of it?
one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But here we gotta like talk about like, we have a surface area compared to how much meat there is, and the top one probably has more meat.
Top one has way more meat.
So then it might cool it down a little bit more.
Probably, yeah.
Probably. Okay, I'm gonna go with the top.
Go for it, man.
Even though it's bigger.
It's bigger.
Oh God, it's way bigger.
It's massive. We made it all the way, bro. Thank you very much.
Well, I haven't made it yet.
We haven't made it yet. Okay.
We'll see if I can finish this.
All right.
I see. I don't know if you can you punch in on this bad boy.
Let's go. Let me zoom in.
Zoom in on that. Look at all that pepper right there on that. Look at that.
Man. That's a lot, bro.
That's my first bite right there.
That's you, man. Get in on that. Yep.
It's happening.
No.
All right, this one isn't hot yet, but I know it's going to come in like 10 seconds. I'm scared.
Take your time, man. It's all about the fun.
Okay. The fun. The pain.
The fun. Bring the pain, right? You good? So, building up? No? Yeah.
It hasn't hit me yet. The last one hit me harder.
The thing about hot sauces is sometimes when they sit, they get super hot. And sometimes when they sit, they mellow. And sometimes every week, they're just kind of up and down. Yeah? So maybe this one's down this week.
What do you feel?
It feels less spicy for sure. Yeah. For sure.
I should pretend like it's really hot right now, though, for drama.
Oh, no, that's cool. Yeah, that's all good, man. No worries, bro. It is all
no,
good.
It's hot. It's burning a little bit. But
it'll get there, right? So what's your secret to work-life balance? Because when you're doing a gig, like for example, the gig that we did together there, it was like a 12 or 18-hour day, right? So what's the secret to like the work-life balance for you?
I don't know how.
I really
don't know how.
Okay.
I'm trying.
So you just work till you drop or work till it's done?
I work till it's done.
Work till it's done. Then you go home and you're just adrenaline all day.
But I think when I'm talking about like work-life balance, it's like when I'm not on a shoot, I have a hard time
unwinding or
and then like say like a weekend, I'll still work all the way through a weekend.
Okay.
I can only take. I'm sure as you a restaurant owner, you're the same way.
I don't have weekends, but okay, yeah.
Like I never know what day it is a week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I agree. But
so I'm not really sure. Like my last 6 months, I've been really trying to find that work-life balance.
Okay.
But
it's the hustle. It's the hustle. The hustle mentality,
starting to
right?
hit me a little bit.
Okay. Can you feel it? Yeah. When you go home, you're kind of like,
No, I'm saying this.
Oh, that. I was like, okay, it's starting to hit. Okay, good. Well. Wow.
Good stuff.
Dude, you made it. I can't believe that. That's unbelievable.
A lot of people made it.
A lot of people made it, but a lot of people have not, right? Some people are just like, we're not even going to try round 2. And I'm like, the Korean was hot, really? Cool, man.
Yeah, so I think like the last 6 months I've been trying to figure it out.
Okay.
The whole work-life balance, but one of the big things was me moving out of the city.
Where are you living now?
I moved to like just outside of Donghu, near Shiji.
Donghu, okay.
Yeah, so in a community called Longsanlim.
Sorry, I had to do that. People need the thing.
Yeah. And
but
when I look out my windows, I just see
so.
trees.
Okay.
And green and everything, and it reminds me that there's stuff that I can do other than work.
Okay. Do you like to go up? Do you want to come by and say? You want to do? What was I gonna say? Yeah. So do you do hiking and stuff like that, or is that what? I used
to do quite a bit, but yeah, I'll definitely go out and like do small hikes.
And any good spots? Favorite hiking spots out there?
Taipei area or?
Yeah, well, I mean anywhere on the island. That was less spicy this time.
Yeah, still spicy though.
For sure. Sometimes people will they'll want that one of the last 2.
Yeah.
Because they like the show or whatever, but they're like, "Oh, give me 6 of those." I'm like, "You don't want 6 of those, dude." And they're like, "No, I'll take 6 or 12."
Oh,
and I'm like, "Dude, yeah, that's tough. I don't want 12 of those." Or 6. Like, I don't even want 3 of those.
Hehuan Mountain, Hehuan Shan.
Hehuan Shan. Okay. And any other tips for unwinding? Like when you're off, there's no real off season for you, right?
No.
But I mean, when you're kind of like in between gigs, you've got a little bit of a break. What do you do to unwind?
I think just try and find time with my friends.
Okay.
As much as possible.
And what do you guys do? Beers? Food?
Food. A lot of food.
Food, yeah?
I have food problems.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I don't really drink anymore.
Oh, you don't?
Like I drink every once in a while, but it's like not many things can get me to drink.
Okay.
You know, like,
and that's because for health reasons you don't like it, or just
I just don't have any really interest in it for some reason. I don't know. I'm weird.
No, you know what though? I think that's
in university I drank quite a bit though.
Okay, well I think everyone. That's what university is. That's what university is, right? You get kicked out if you don't do that, man. Shoot. Yeah. I'm gonna pull up a couple pictures here before we call it.
Let's see what it is.
Let's go. Bam.
Oh shit! Yeah.
What's up here? What's going on?
Okay, so actually, that other picture you showed when I was down in Taidong shooting for National Geographic or Discovery, yeah.
Blam. All right.
If you go back to the other picture there.
Yep.
I was actually that project that I was carrying the camera.
Okay.
I was actually shooting a series called Taiwan Tribe Alive.
Okay.
And you see the lady to my right, so the left in the picture.
Yeah.
She kind of became like my Taiwanese mother.
Oh, wow.
So
Beautiful.
She really brought me in and treated me like her son.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And
very cool.
So actually, when I go down to Taiwan,
that's who you're going to visit.
I'm going to go visit her.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
And the guy to the right is Lavalas.
I think I got him here too, right? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is.
And
right?
he's a really cool guy.
Yeah.
He's really trying to take care and make sure that the culture that they have is there to pass on.
That's passed on. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's
he does a
important.
lot of really, traditional hunting, building knives, and basically anything that they can pass on, he's teaching the younger people.
Have you been able to do any videos or any recording with him? Like
when I did the Discovery thing, then I go back.
About him. Okay.
Yeah, well, like about it was on the tribe.
Yeah,
but then I go back and I'll shoot them for I'll shoot 4 or 5 days a year out with them, just trying to help them.
Okay.
Cool. Document stuff for them.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, that's like one of my relationship with them is one of the things that really makes my time here in Taiwan bearable, because I feel like I'm part of something.
Okay.
Yeah, they really take care of me.
It makes you less homesick when you have some kind of family, right? Yeah. Blam. That's such a good picture. I love that. It's so funny.
Me on a train coming back from another shoot, I think, and that's the producer that gave me my first opportunities.
Okay, you took that?
Is the one that took this picture.
Okay.
And I don't know there was no seats available.
Okay, so you were trying to, I thought you were trying to freak that little girl out.
No, I just was
like
I'm weird.
Daughter.
I'm just really weird, and I just crammed inside.
You're in the right place, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Blam.
Okay, so this is a music video shoot for Chingji Squad.
Okay.
And this part was a scene that we did for Chris Flo.
Okay.
Really good friend of mine.
Okay.
Chingji Squad has 4 people in it.
Okay.
Red, Ocean's blew up right now.
Oh, really? Nice.
Chris Flo, and then Show. And Show's really blowing up right now. And the other two,
That's cool.
Red and Chris Flo, they're doing really great things too.
Okay.
I really like what everybody's doing in that individually.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is like from a music video shoot. We just finished up in a forest.
Very cool, brother. I love it. Got a few more. Blam. Check that out.
It's just we have some people from Up Against the Wall.
Yeah.
They're now.
Okay.
It was a company.
Okay.
But they kind of.
I've heard of that.
Up.
I've heard of that. Oh, okay.
They split up, but I was doing a lot of videos and stuff with them.
Okay.
But yeah, those are all my good friends there too. We have Jasmine on the right, Garrett beside me on the right side, and Steven on the left. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. You guys were editing or something, yeah?
Yeah, I think we're going through pictures.
Okay. I had to show this sexy profile pic right here. Yeah. That's a good one, man. I like that, yeah?
Gotta look a little xiong. A little bit.
Xiong,
you gotta look a little tough.
It's the arm crossed, yeah?
Yeah.
You want more horchata?
I'm good.
Yeah, okay.
I'm all set. Yeah.
No, I'm good, thanks, yeah. I think I got one more. Did I do this one already? I think I did this one already, yeah.
Oh,
what was this one about?
I can't, that's something Prince.
It's like backstage.
Jay Prince.
Okay.
Jay Prince backstage. So he's like a
musician
from London.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of does like R&B kind of sound stuff, but his stuff is really cool too.
Okay.
He's kind of up and coming. Pretty good name too. Already, but yeah, we're just like backstage, just hanging out.
Sweet,
Take
dude.
a picture of him.
Very cool.
Back there, yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Blam, that's it, bro.
That's us.
Yeah, that's it.
We did it.
I want to thank you for coming out, man. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have anything you want to add before we call it?
Hustle,
yeah. I think one of the things I got is you can get there if you're hustling.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe in that, and sometimes I'll get up in the morning and I'm like, I want to go to the gym or something, and I'm like, I'm gonna sleep in today, and then I'll listen to maybe some David Goggins.
Yeah.
You know Goggins?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy, man. Yeah. He always makes me feel inferior. I'm like, I'm going, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, bro.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Keep
man.
going.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching the show. We'll catch you
Good
guys
afternoon.
next week. Yeah.
See you.
And if you guys want to hire this lovely man right here to do his fantastic stuff, the link is in the description for Deep Flow Media. Check it out. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.